Squirrels belong to the family Squirridae, which includes over 200 species of small, agile rodents. Their evolutionary history traces back about 36 million years ago, during the Eocene epoch, when their early ancestors, small, rodent-like mammals, began diverging from other rodents. These early ancestors were part of the order Glirus, which also includes rabbits and other rodents. The earliest squirrel-like creatures were not specifically adapted to tree-dwelling lifestyles, but rather lived in forested environments, eventually evolving key traits such as sharp claws and bushy tails, which would aid in later arboreal, tree-dwelling adaptations. The Squirridae family of true squirrels appeared around 36 million years ago, with the first true squirrels evolving roughly 25 to 30 million years ago. These early squirrels, initially concentrated in Asia, later spread to North America and Europe. Fossil evidence indicates that squirrels adapted quickly to a variety of habitats, from dense forests to open grasslands. Today, squirrels are found across the globe, with the notable exceptions of Australia and Antarctica. Their remarkable ability to adapt to different climates, from urban spaces to wilderness areas, is a testament to their ecological versatility. Unlike domesticated animals such as dogs or horses, squirrels have never been bred for specific human purposes like transportation or labor. While humans have long interacted with squirrels, they were never domesticated in the way that certain other animals were. While a few squirrels were kept as exotic pets or displayed in zoos, the species was never widely tamed for practical human use. In ancient civilizations, squirrels were not central to military operations or agricultural production in the same way that other animals, such as horses or camels, were. However, their fur did play a role in trade, especially in the fur markets of Europe and Asia. The value of squirrel pelts in ancient times was particularly notable in regions with colder climates, where their fur was used for clothing, including hats and fur trimmings. In some ancient cultures, such as those in northern Europe, squirrel meat may have been consumed, especially during times of scarcity, but this was not as widespread as the consumption of larger game animals like deer or rabbits. The domestication of animals like goats, pigs, and cattle had a more direct and lasting impact on agricultural societies than did the consumption of squirrels. Nevertheless, squirrels' role as a source of food, along with their fur, contributed to trade, especially in regions where they were abundant. While squirrels were not involved in military strategy or warfare, their pelts were sometimes exchanged along trade routes, such as those connecting ancient Rome and Persia. These pelts, along with other furs, would have been part of a broader fur trade that spanned large regions. But overall, squirrels were mostly part of the natural landscape and did not occupy a central role in the economies of ancient civilizations. Squirrels Squirrels themselves were not used directly in labor or transportation, but their fur became a significant commodity in the fur trade. Between the 17th and 19th centuries, fur trading became a global industry, connecting North America, Europe, and parts of Asia. In North America, Native American tribes and European settlers alike traded squirrel pelts. These pelts were valuable in colder climates for making garments and luxury items such as hats, especially in places like Russia and Scandinavia, where fur was a vital commodity. While squirrels did not directly contribute to agricultural labor or industrial work like oxen or horses, their presence in ecosystems has an indirect role in agricultural systems. Squirrels engage in hoarding behavior, burying seeds and nuts as a form of winter food storage. This activity contributes to seed dispersal, aiding in plant regeneration and biodiversity, particularly in forests and woodland areas. Through this accidental gardening, squirrels help create a healthier environment by facilitating the spread of trees and plants, including species important for agriculture, such as oak and walnut trees. However, squirrels are also pests in agricultural contexts. In orchards, they can cause significant damage by eating crops like corn, apples, and sunflowers. In urban settings, squirrels often invade gardens and parks, raiding bird feeders and orchards. Their propensity for damaging fruit crops, particularly in urban and suburban areas, leads to conflict with humans. In terms of urban adaptation, squirrels, especially species like the eastern gray squirrel, are highly successful in cities across North America and Europe. They thrive in parks, gardens, and wooded areas, interacting with humans who often feed them or watch their antics. This urban adaptation is a prime example of how squirrels have shifted from purely wild animals to coexist with human-dominated environments. While squirrels are not commonly used in formal animal-assisted therapy programs, there are studies showing that interacting with squirrels, whether by watching them in nature or feeding them in parks, can provide therapeutic benefits. The simple act of observing wildlife has been shown to reduce stress and improve mental health. Squirrels, with their energetic behavior and natural agility, can offer comfort and relaxation, providing a sense of connection to the natural world, especially for individuals living in urban areas. Squirrels' ability to thrive in cities and interact with humans in parks and gardens has led to a growing interest in urban wildlife as a form of therapeutic interaction. Though not officially part of therapy programs in the same way as dogs, horses, or dolphins, squirrels' presence in public spaces is an important psychological and emotional resource for many people, particularly those seeking a break from the pressures of urban life. The overall historical and ecological context of squirrels in human society reveals an animal that has played a more subtle but significant role in the natural and human worlds. From their evolutionary journey to their role in ancient trade and their indirect influence on agriculture, squirrels have shaped ecosystems and, to some extent, human cultures. While their domestication and direct utility for human labor or companionship are virtually non-existent, squirrels have established a unique place in human society, particularly in urban environments where they provide a form of connection to nature that is increasingly rare in our modern world. Squirrels have had a fascinating place in human culture and symbolism for centuries. Their swift, agile movements and playful behavior have made them the subject of various myths, folklore, and artistic representations. While they may not be as prominently featured in ancient religions or mythologies as other animals like lions or eagles, squirrels still symbolize a number of important traits. In Western cultures, squirrels are often seen as symbols of preparation and resourcefulness, due to their habit of gathering and storing food for the winter months. This behavior is interpreted as a representation of the need to plan ahead and the virtues of industriousness and foresight. In some cultures, they have also been seen as symbols of curiosity due to their inquisitive nature and ability to explore their surroundings. This symbolism can be seen in various works of art, literature, and even children's stories, where squirrels are often depicted as clever and adaptable creatures. In Native American traditions, squirrels have appeared in various myths and stories. Among the Ojibwe people, for example, squirrels are often associated with the teachings of how to prepare for difficult times, reflecting the importance of storing food and resources for the future. They also sometimes appear as tricksters or clever creatures, embodying the cultural value of resourcefulness and adaptability in challenging environments. Though squirrels may not have appeared as often as mythological creatures like dragons or wolves, they do hold a place in the folklore of certain cultures. In Norse mythology, squirrels are linked with the sacred Yggdrasil, the world tree. According to myth, a squirrel named Ratatoskr ran up and down the tree's trunk, delivering messages and causing mischief between the eagle at the top of the tree and the serpent Nidhogr at the roots. Ratatoskr's role as a messenger and instigator of conflict reflects the squirrel's playful and energetic nature, as well as its role in the transmission of information. Similarly, in Celtic mythology, squirrels are sometimes associated with the themes of fertility and abundance, possibly due to their role in dispersing seeds and promoting growth in forests. While not as central as more powerful animals like the boar or the stag, the The squirrel's connection to the natural world and the cycles of life made it a symbol of renewal and continuity in certain stories. While squirrels do not feature heavily in Eastern mythologies, their presence can still be felt in the symbolic use of animals in cultures like those of China and Japan. In these traditions, squirrels might not appear as primary mythical figures, but still hold symbolic importance in stories about nature, the seasons, and the interplay between humans and animals. Across different cultures, squirrels have influenced human society in various ways. Beyond their symbolic significance, squirrels have had practical impacts on the way people live, particularly in how humans view and interact with nature. Squirrels' rapid adaptation to urban environments, particularly in cities across North America and Europe, has made them both a source of fascination and a point of contention for humans. As cities expanded, squirrels were among the many wildlife species that thrived in human-dominated spaces, adapting to life in parks, gardens, and even backyards. The cultural significance of squirrels in cities cannot be underestimated. They serve as a constant reminder of the wildness that still exists in the heart of modern urban life. In cities, squirrels have become the focus of wildlife conservation efforts as people work to balance the needs of urbanization with the protection of local ecosystems. Squirrels, as well as other wildlife, help maintain a connection to nature that can often be lost in large cities. Their presence in parks, for instance, encourages people to appreciate the natural world in their daily lives, promoting awareness about environmental issues and the importance of conservation. The psychological and social impact of squirrels is another area where these small creatures play a surprisingly large role. For many urban dwellers, squirrels provide a sense of joy and relaxation, offering a brief escape from the stresses of modern life. In parks or even urban neighborhoods, watching squirrels interact with their environment, scurrying up trees, gathering nuts, or interacting with each other, can be a form of nature therapy. This interaction with wildlife has been linked to reduced levels of stress and an improved sense of well-being. For people living in dense, concrete environments, squirrels often serve as a reminder of the natural world and the importance of nature in human health and happiness. While squirrels are generally abundant in many areas, they face a number of challenges in the modern world. Many of these challenges stem from habitat loss, as urban development and deforestation reduce the available living space for these animals. In some parts of the world, the loss of forests and woodlands has made it more difficult for squirrels to find food and shelter. Additionally, the expansion of human settlements has led to more frequent conflicts between squirrels and humans, particularly in urban areas where squirrels often raid gardens, bird feeders, and even homes for food. To combat these challenges, numerous conservation efforts have been established to protect squirrel populations and their habitats. In some areas, wildlife corridors and protected forests have been designated to provide safe spaces for squirrels and other small mammals. Rewilding projects, which aim to restore natural ecosystems, often include efforts to protect and increase squirrel populations. These conservation programs not only help squirrels, but also contribute to maintaining biodiversity, supporting other species that rely on similar habitats. Squirrels are also affected by climate change, with some species facing challenges due to changing weather patterns. For example, the red squirrel in parts of Europe has been displaced by the introduction of the non-native gray squirrel, which competes for food and nesting sites. Conservationists are working to protect native species like the red squirrel by implementing measures to control gray squirrel populations and preserve suitable habitats for the red squirrel to thrive. In addition to habitat restoration and species protection, there are efforts to address the growing issue of urban wildlife management. Squirrels often live in close proximity to humans, which can lead to problems like property damage, food raiding, and conflicts with pets. Some urban areas have taken steps to manage squirrel populations in ways that reduce conflict with humans, such as the use of humane traps and the installation of squirrel-proof measures in public parks and gardens. Looking to the future, squirrels will continue to play an important role in urban and natural ecosystems. Technological advances in wildlife monitoring and conservation are helping scientists track squirrel populations, monitor their health, and better understand their behaviors. For example, the use of GPS collars and motion-sensitive cameras allows researchers to study squirrels' movements and interactions with their environments. This data helps inform conservation strategies, ensuring that squirrel populations remain stable in the face of urbanization and climate change. In terms of ethical and environmental challenges, the future of squirrels will depend largely on how humans continue to balance the needs of wildlife with the demands of growing urban areas. Squirrel populations could face increasing pressure as cities expand and human populations grow. As awareness about the importance of biodiversity and ecosystem services increases, there may be more efforts to incorporate wildlife corridors into urban planning, helping squirrels and other species navigate human-dominated environments more safely. In the coming years, sustainability practices in urban development could focus on creating environments where wildlife, including squirrels, can coexist with humans. Cities might integrate green spaces and urban forests into their designs, providing natural habitats for squirrels and other species. By taking into account the needs of local wildlife, urban areas can help ensure that squirrels continue to thrive, maintaining their place in the ecosystems and the cultural fabric of human society.